What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another edition of the Tasting Room. This one probably looks a little different, obviously, because it's just me, and I'm going to have to try to figure out how to do everything on my own here. There we go. Just me for today. So it'll be a abridged, quicker version. I don't think you guys want to sit around and listen to me talk for a full hour and change. So this will be a abridged version. Um, Austin has a beer dinner tonight, and I am a bad friend because I didn't ask him if it was at the brew pub, the brewery, or up in Claremore. So I'm not 100% sure where he is. I just know he's at a beer dinner. He might try to call in if he has time to break away, and I'm still talking. But as you can tell, I have a little Barry White going on, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. I think I'm one of 82 million people in the Tulsa metro, at least, that is some sort of sick right now. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I decided to jump on here and say hello to whoever wanted to watch and to have a sip of some. This is just Green River, nice and easy Kentucky straight wheated bourbon. I thought to grab this one because I think it was Fred Minnick I was listening to the other day, and he said that made his top 100. It's a $39, $40 bottle, maybe 49 at the most. And for it to make his top 100, because he tries all the heavily allocated stuff and all of that, that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, I thought I would give it a sip. So I don't know. Well, I do know what's going on with me, but I feel like everyone and their dog right now is sick. Multiple people I know are sick. Some it's COVID, some it's just the flu or whatnot. I don't know if anyone else gets this, but for me, twice a year, it's usually when winter turns into spring, and then sometimes when summer turns into fall, but definitely when fall turns into winter, like officially. I get what starts as a sinus infection, so I get kind of stuffed up and all that for about a day, and then it slowly makes its way down to my chest. So then there's that day in between where I have a sore throat, which is great, and then there's a day where it fakes me out every time, where I think that I'm going to get away without coughing and having it congested in my chest, only for later that night the coughing to start, and so that lasts for a couple days, and it happens. It's biannually for me. Um, I have yet to figure out if there's anything I could take that would stop this from happening. So it just kind of is what it is. Just gotta go with it. If you're watching this and want to talk about anything in particular, I'll hang out as long as anybody's here and wants to hang out. But I know there's Monday Night Football on. I know it's getting close to the holidays, so a lot of you are probably doing online shopping. I probably won't turn this into a podcast for tomorrow, but full transparency, if we're going to grow this thing as much as we want to, we have to continually put up content to hit what is known as the algorithm, right? And so here I am, not 100%, but taking one for the team. Cheers. Sip a little bit here. Yeah, that is really good. I haven't had much alcohol at all since I've been a little under the weather. I'm going to keep looking at my laptop too, because if somebody jumps on, I have to let them into the room and all this different stuff. So it would be a fun test of the software, because we've streamed through StreamYard before. We did it last week, but we haven't had anybody as far as like a guest jump on. So I kind of do hope that here in just a little bit, Austin's able to sneak away. And yeah, I got a text there. All right, I've been inviting like all of my friends, just like, hey, you should jump on the live stream. We'll figure out what to talk about. And as with most people, and it's no fault of theirs, a little late notice, and it's kind of hard to make that happen. So understood everyone that can't make it. That was just my buddy TJ over at Channel 8. I wanted to talk to him about the first day since everything went down over there, because a lot of people that were working there no longer were as of today. And that was actually the reason he can't he can't make it because it's changed a lot of his workflow. And so I think getting ready for the 10 and just making sure everything happens the way it needs to happen over there on Lookout Mountain has his top priority, as it should. But yeah, so I'll just hang out here for a little bit. And then, like I said, I don't think I'm going to turn this into a podcast. Normally, our schedule would be that we're live on YouTube Monday nights, usually from 8 to 9, maybe 9:30. We'll just say 9-ish, I think is what we say. And then I flip that around and post it as a podcast with minimal editing. Eventually, if we start showing media and different clips or whatnot, I would have to figure out a way to edit that out because I don't think that's allowed on the Spotify platform. So I would have to change that. But yeah, I normally flip it, but I don't think I'm going to do that because this one would be really boring and there's just no need for that. We have another podcast coming out on the Grassfire Podcast Network on Wednesday. That would be Austin's Kettle Editions. He did 3 episodes last week that we have stockpiled because I believe it's tomorrow. He is leaving for I think you call it a baby moon when you take a trip kind of right before you're expected to have a baby. As you know, Austin told us last week that he and Lisa are expecting. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you where they're going because I think he's going to try to call in next week. Next week I will have a guest, and I can tell you who that's going to be. At least one guest. It would be my old coworker. Speaking of Channel 8, who is now the chief meteorologist at KJRH Channel 2, the one and only Michael Collier. He's going to jump on. We're going to talk a few different things. He actually went down to Dallas yesterday. So I don't know if you're watching this today, obviously, if I'm not going to post it as a podcast. So he went down last night for Sunday Night Football, Eagles versus Cowboys. And you might think, being from the Tulsa area, living in Tulsa, chief meteorologist, all that stuff, he'd be a Cowboys fan, right? No, for some reason. And that's one thing I want to talk to him about. He's a Fly Eagles Fly fan. And so I kind of wanted to rub it in just a little bit that he made the trip down there to watch my hometown team, the Cowboys, dust up on his Eagles, but they did get us prior in the season, so I can't talk too much shit. But no, I just want to catch up with him. Want to talk about, I think I saw him post today, actually, excuse me, that Winter is taking a break until January 1st. So that's a bummer. As you can tell by my hat, I quite enjoy the chilly weather. Not a fan of the bone-chilling cold, although I've been skiing in almost negative degree temperatures and all of that. Living in Denver, it's just kind of part of the deal. But I do like when it's cold enough that you can wear light jackets, beanies, or toboggans, whatever you call them. That's a good thing. If you're watching this and you're from somewhere that I'm not, what do you call these? Stocking hats, toboggans, beanies. But yeah, so I like the weather when it's cold enough to be considered chilly, but not cold enough to be considered, cold. But yeah, this is, I was talking about this today. I don't know what line of work you guys are in, what you do, and maybe this is any sort of a sales role. I feel like it might be, this could apply, but we have now officially, I think today's the day. What is it? The 12th, right? No, 11th. Yeah. Monday, December 11th. I mean, what is that? 14, exactly 2 weeks from Christmas. This is now the official start of whenever you ask a question to someone, the response will be, let's circle back in January. Let's circle back next year. Let's push this until we get back from the holiday. Any one of those, an iteration of that. I mean, I don't know how many times, how many emails, how many phone calls I've made today and over the last few days where that was the response. And so I'm trying to figure out, I mean, I have some stuff I need to tie up loose end wise before the end of the year, but it's almost reached a point where I don't know if there's no more business to be found right now. I guess you're strategizing and goal planning and all of that for 2024, but I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing, and I keep looking over here to see if anybody's going to jump on with me, and I don't think they are. So I think we're going to wrap this at about 10 minutes um, as I finish this little bit of Green River bourbon, which I believe is in, I don't know if it's, I was going to say Bardstown. It's not. It's Owensboro, Kentucky. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. If you stumbled across this one, we'll it was a little bit of late notice to figure out that I was going to be flying solo today. Too late to get anybody else on. Austin just didn't realize that he thought it was 5 to 7. I think I mentioned that. And so he was going to be able to do the live stream and the beer dinner. And then by the time he figured out it wasn't, he let me know right away, but it was a little too late to do anything about it. So that's okay. I just wanted to get on and say hey and let you know we'll be here every Monday. One of us, if I'm out of town, he'll be here. He'll have on people. If he's out of town and I know about it enough in advance, I'll be on and have people on as well. But I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to give my voice a rest because I don't know if you can tell, but it's not fun to talk when it sounds like this and when it feels like this. So love you guys. And we will see you next week on the Tasting Room live stream. And it'll be much longer than 10 minutes, I promise. Take care.